Good afternoon, everyone. Today we are going to discuss the issue of homeless people sleeping in 24-hour McDonald's restaurants. And first of all, I would like to talk about the problems that homeless people face. The homeless people face unemployment because the unemployment has reached a 50 years high in 2020. And now I believe that it will be even worse. The reason for the high unemployment rates is because of the pandemic. The pandemic results in jobless in Hong Kong and an increased homelessness.
Okay, so indeed, I think high unemployment rates does cause the increase in amounts of max sleepers. Besides, Hong Kong is famous for its sky-high rent, which most low-earning income party couldn't afford it. So they can only afford subdivided flats with bad hygiene and mainly with so-called mosquito size. So McDonald's provide them a decent and comfortable environment for them to live.
Concerning the problems that homeless people may face, in spite of the rising rent and the employment, I think one of the prominent problems that homeless people may face is that their health. So, due to poor living condition, some homeless people may need to be forced to live in uncleaned alley, which are surrounded by lots of bacteria or germs. And I think without proper medical care and services, the homeless people may increase the risk of them affecting by infectious disease, and I think that will cause harm to their health.
So I share the same opinion with you guys that the unemployment rate and the health condition and the high rent will be the problems that the homeless people will face. But besides, I think due to poverty, the homeless people are struggle to meet their needs and they are unable to buy their daily necessities such as food and clothes. Especially in winter, they did not wear enough clothes and therefore they are easily to get sick or close to some health problems. Also, security will be another problem that the homeless people are always sleeping in the street or on the footbridge, and they did not have locks for their belongings, so their money or important items will be stolen by the others easily. So I think we have discussed a lot about the problems that the homeless people will face. So let's move on to another topic, talking about the reason why the homeless people would like to go to McDonald's and sleep.
Yes, one of the reasons I believe is the McDonald's provides a cheap and fast way for them to fill their balance. They can buy foods at a cheap price, and also the McDonald's provide a free place for them to sleep, so they do not have to afford the high rents for housing.
Indeed, I think max sleepers choose McDonald's because of its cheap food, and also I think McDonald's is relatively a better environment compared to other options. Compared to hotel, McDonald's is easier to access to. McDonald's is one of the few restaurants in Hong Kong which opens 24/7 and is readily available for the max sleepers. Also, compared to streets, McDonald's provides a safe shelter with light and air conditioning, which is favorable for them to live in.
So I think some of the important reasons that why homeless people go to McDonald's is because of the security problems that Ryan has mentioned. And in McDonald's, the security environment I think is stricter than the environment when people is living outside on the streets or under the footbridge. Because if the homeless people is living on the street, their belongings like the cash or the assets maybe just get robbed by a random citizen, which may run away very quickly. But in McDonald's, there is cameras everywhere, and I think the security there will be stricter, so it will be a better environment for homeless people to live in.
Yes, I also think that McDonald's is a safe place for the homeless people to live. And I also think that the McDonald's provide them a shelter that can help the homeless people to escape from the extreme weather condition. Like they can be prevented from getting heat stroke in summer or suffer a cold in the winter. And apart from that, I also think most of the homeless people are isolated and disconnected from the society since they always live alone. So I think in McDonald's, the customers and the staff can chat with them so as to let them to feel less lonely and become more integrated in the community. So can we suggest some ways that how the homeless people will affect the McDonald's operation?
I believe that the worsened sanitary conditions has affected the McDonald's in business because the waste that they produce when they sleep in the McDonald's is become a problem of hygiene conditions. It's difficult to clean, and also it brings a negative feeling to the customers. So the customers won't feel uncomfortable and won't come to the McDonald's, and affects business.
Indeed, I think McSleepers have led to bad hygiene in McDonald's. Besides, I think security problems may evolve. Due to McSleepers often take up space in McDonald's, customers or staff may have conflicts to them, and so some of the McSleepers may not be mentally stable. So there actually have some accidents happened before where the McSleepers attack the staff with a knife. So security problems may evolve.
I think we should think of the sanitary problem. For instance, most homeless people who live in McDonald's will bring many bacteria or garbage and rubbish with them to sleep in McDonald's. And I think a lot of costs will be incurred for McDonald's to cover up the mess that these homeless people have made. And I think this would also cause a harm to the McDonald's reputation.
And yes, I partly agree with you that the homeless people will negatively impact the McDonald's operation. But I think in another angle, by showing care to the homeless community, I think the McDonald's can build a good reputation for themselves, unlike most of the other restaurants who always force them to leave the shop or even discriminate against them. I think the McDonald's can act as a good example which welcome a restaurant that welcome anyone from different background, whether she or he is wealthy or poor. And I think the McDonald's can attract more people to purchase their products. And I think in the long run, I think it's beneficial for their future operation. So I think we have discussed a lot about the issue, and shall we come to the end of the discussion?